guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do pretty much a first trimester recap and how I tried to conceive and how I conceived so quickly. And I just want to pretty much go over my entire experience from finding out I was pregnant at 3 weeks to now I'm 11 weeks and 3 days. So I just want to go over all of that, and if you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them. If you don't know, my name is Melanie, and if you're looking up like weekly updates and stuff like that, because I know I did when I was pregnant with my first son. I do have a 4-year-old. His name is Thomas, and I was pregnant with him in 2014 from the months of March to November. He was born November 12th. And now this is my second baby. I switch weeks every Thursday. So you might see me look down at my phone a couple times just because I want to make sure that this video is quick and to the point. It's actually my second time filming it because the last time I pretty much just rambled for about 20 minutes and I don't want to do that this time. My husband and I were actually trying to have our second baby. We were on the fence of whether or not we wanted to have 2 kids or not. We were very content with just our son. He's pretty much a light of our lives, super smart, so funny, he has a great personality. So we were a little bit afraid to have a second child, especially because when our son was born, he was born with something called laryngomalacia, and if you don't know what that is, I just Google it. It's pretty much an airway defect, and he also had, you might hear him because he's getting really excited about doing a puzzle downstairs. He had a deviated septum, a milk protein allergy, and really bad acid reflux. So all that together was just a nightmare for the first 6 weeks of his life. We didn't know what was wrong, and we took him to countless doctors, and nobody wanted to diagnose him. Yes, of course, pound it. Go do more. Okay. Go ahead.
I did it.
Alright, hurry up. I'll be down in a minute, okay?
Mommy, I'm good with puzzles.
You really are good with puzzles, baby. I think I was talking about how he had laryngomalacia. So we were a little bit concerned about having another baby after that, just because they don't know exactly what causes it, and we were just afraid that our chances of having another baby with laryngomalacia would be high, being that doctors still have not figured out why children are born with it, and if there's anything throughout pregnancy that can cause that. So that was a little bit of why we were a little nervous, but we decided to have a second baby, and I'm pregnant now, so obviously what we did worked. So the apps that I tried to use were Glow and Ovia. I used 2 just to make sure that I had the day correct. You pretty much just put in the length of your cycle and your last known period. So that's what I did, and it came up with which days I was ovulating. Typically for most women, you have a 5-day fertile window, and that's when you want to baby dance as much as possible so that you can make sure that you are trying to conceive during those days that you are most fertile. So I started to test when I was 6 days DPO, which means 6 days past ovulation, and I was getting just negatives. Obviously it was way too early. My body did not start to produce the HCG yet, which is the pregnancy hormone, and I was pretty much just going crazy, and I was using dipsticks that I bought on Amazon. They're super cheap. You can get them for like $7 for 100 of them, and I was pretty much using those, and I did get my first positive on October 8th, which I think was about 9 days DPO, and every day after that it continued to get darker, the line on the test, until I took a digital pregnancy test in Mexico, and I did get my digital positive, which was very exciting. So I found that I was pregnant at 3 weeks DPO, and so that means you were 3 weeks pregnant. For the first 2 weeks you're not actually pregnant. The 3rd week is kind of like when you actually are, and like the 4th week is when you're implanted and all that jazz. I'm not a scientist, I don't know, but I do know that you're technically pregnant and there's something in your uterus at 4 weeks. From weeks 3 to 5, I really didn't feel pregnant at all. I think I just had breast tenderness, and that was pretty much it. I had no food aversions. I did want seafood, which is really unlike me. So technically, I guess you could call that a craving. I think it was just a shift in my hormones that made me crave it. But other than that, I really did not feel pregnant. Now weeks 5 to 7, I would say I had the worst nausea, way worse than when I was pregnant with Tommy. I did not feel sick with Tommy whatsoever. This pregnancy, I've had really bad stomach aches, but definitely from weeks 5 to 7, I felt the worst. My stomach was just turning. I felt so queasy. I constantly felt like I was on a boat. But one thing about me is I cannot throw up unless I have a stomach ache. So I don't know if other women have been through this, but or if other women experience the same symptoms. But pregnancy nausea isn't really a stomach ache, it's just that like extreme queasy feeling. So that's what I felt, and I didn't have a stomach ache, so I couldn't actually throw up. So the nausea was just constant all day long, and obviously it was worse if I would get hungry. But when you're really nauseous, you don't feel like eating. So it's a double-edged sword for sure. From week 7 to 9, I would say that I felt the most crampy. I was constantly cramping. My back was starting to hurt, so I was a little bit concerned about that. But no spotting at all. I just had really bad cramps, and actually on my left side, I was getting a lot of pain and like sharp pain. So I went to the doctor and we did an ultrasound. We were able to find a heartbeat, and we were able to see that the pregnancy in fact was healthy and the baby was growing correctly and according to my dates. From weeks 9 to 11, things did change a little bit. I started to feel more pregnant. I was still experiencing breast tenderness, nausea, not as bad. Now I can definitely say the nausea has almost completely gone away, but I'm experiencing really bad stomach pain, and my digestive system has been just all over the place and out of whack. So that's what I've been feeling now with this part of my pregnancy, entering the second trimester soon. I hope that it does get better and my stomach doesn't hurt as much, but I just constantly feel like I have an upset stomach, which is really inconvenient because when you finally start to feel like you have energy again and you're not nauseous, now I just have this stomach ache that won't go away. And I've gotten checked out at the doctor and everything seems to be fine as far as that goes. At week 10, I did start to experience some spotting, which was super alarming for me. When we were in New Jersey over Thanksgiving holiday, I did experience spotting when we were in the hotel, and it wasn't due to any sort of, activities or anything like that, but I was spotting when I was using the bathroom, and it continued over about 5 days. It never got any heavier. I did call my doctor and they told me to monitor what was going on. Because I was out of state, I wasn't going to go to an emergency room because I don't have insurance right now. I did enroll in this open enrollment, but it goes into effect January 1st. So because I wasn't cramping or experiencing any other symptoms, I decided to wait until I got back to Tennessee, and I went to my doctor on Thursday. No, I went to my doctor on Friday. We checked everything out. We were able to find the baby's heartbeat, and my doctor did conclude that it was just my digestive system that had been irritating my cervix, and that's why I was experiencing spotting, but it was nothing to be alarmed about. Obviously, if it gets worse, go back to the doctor, but for the most part, everything is pretty much perfect. As far as gender goes, we do know the gender of our baby. Family and friends also know the gender of the baby. I will be doing a gender reveal here on YouTube. I know a lot of you who follow me and are subscribed to this channel probably already know, so don't spoil it in the comments, but I want to have it just to document like a cute little announcement so I can have it forever and ever, and then this baby can look back on it and say like my parents did that for me and it was really special. I want to do something related to the holidays, and it'll probably be up during this Vlogmas, so keep an eye out for that. As far as pregnancy updates go, I'm going to keep you guys updated. It might be every other week because nothing really changes from week to week. I think I have been experiencing the baby moving, but it might just be like gas, who knows. But that's pretty much it. There's been no real food aversions, no cravings, and I will continue to update you guys, and hopefully I will be able to stick to this Vlogmas this year. If you don't know, Vlogmas is putting up a vlog every single day for the month of December up until Christmas. So it's pretty much 25 vlogs. I really hope that I can stick to it. Being a working mom, it is difficult to sit down and edit and even film these videos because you can hear him in the background, and he kind of drives me crazy when it comes to this. Whenever he sees me talking to somebody on FaceTime or talking to my camera, he wants to be next to me talking too. So it's a little bit difficult, but for the most part, I'm trying really hard. And even if it's something mundane and short and I can at least sit down and talk to you guys and update you on what's going on in my day, I at least want to do that because I really want to be consistent with Vlogmas. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please tune back in tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 3, and hopefully I'll have something a little bit interesting for some of you who aren't into the whole pregnancy update thing. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like this video. Bye-bye. I look like a greased chicken. Wow. You would think sitting in front of the light would make you look better and blur out your imperfections, but right now I'm feeling really imperfect.